Oh, forgot to put us on the stage. What's going on, guys? This is DeFi Crypto Online Show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world. And we are freaking flying today. Let's go. If you guys aren't feeling euphoric, I don't know what will make you feel euphoric. This is just freaking wild. Corey, take it away.
Good morning, Hexicans! Happy Pop Tuesday! How are we guys doing, man? This is freaking exciting. Richard Hart this morning tweeted about the PH protocols. Haters, go short it. Go short Hex. Go short Pulse. Go short Pulse X. Let's get going, guys. This is absolutely insane. I can't believe what's going on. I don't know if I'm euphoric. Maybe right on a local top. I'm okay with that because I just buy back in later. Come on, guys. This is amazing. Let's keep rocking this. I am so blessed to be in this journey with you guys. We've been screaming for over a year now on this show. Guys, I do have a warning, though. Update. If you guys are participating in liquid loans, keep your collateral ratios above 300, maybe even 350 if you don't want to deal with the redeemed BS. I got redeemed on my vault. Basically, you don't lose you don't lose value if you catch the redemption right at the time it does, because you can buy your Pulse back. What happened to me is somebody redeemed on my vault. Pulse kept going up in price. So when I bought my Pulse back, I was offside $400. So guys, be careful if you're participating in the liquid loans protocol. The risk to the downside of liquid loans is liquidation. The risk to the upside, I didn't know this, is redemptions. And what happens is the stable coin loses peg because everyone's buying Pulse and Pulse X and Hex. So what happens? You're selling down one asset to get another, which is their stable coin. The market buys the stable coin or takes their stable coin, the USDL, redeems it into the protocol, and where does the redemption go? It comes out of our vaults. It comes out of our vaults and it hits the lower leverage ones first. But in a market like this, where there's all these redemptions happening because people are trying to arb that USDL, it works up. I had a 270% collateral ratio. It worked up all the way to my vault and redeemed against it. So that's your risk to the upside. And there's not a lot of risk if you catch the redemption when it happens. You can buy your Pulse right back because it takes away your debt. It takes away your debt and it takes away your Pulse. So you could use those stable coins if you still have them. That's the other thing. You'd have to have the stable coins on standby to go buy your Pulse back, so that way you don't lose value. But if you don't catch it and Pulse keeps running, you're going to lose value. I lost $400 from that exact scenario. So be very careful if you're using liquid loans. It's a great protocol. I am still using it. I just adjusted my collateral ratio so that way I don't have to micromanage it so much. So that's your risk. Your risk to the downside is liquidations. Your risk to the upside is redemptions. So keep that in mind. It's still a great protocol. It makes you about 108% APY on your stables if you're just chilling. It's a great way to still leverage against your Pulse, but keep those collateral ratios really high, guys, because I'd hate to see you guys lose economic energy, from the market running away from you if you got redeemed on and you didn't take notice. That's where the risk comes in. So other than that, I am freaking loving what's going on in the ecosystem. Everything is pumping and flying off the handle. I don't even know what to do. I can't get Fatty to work because I think everyone's trying to get Fatty to work right now to see what the portfolio is worth. But man, it's been such a time. Oh my gosh, so exciting.
Yeah, in fact, do you know, Corey, is there a specific collateral ratio that is safe?
So I talked to Walrus last night. They are coming out with an indicator on liquid loans. CC's creating it now because of this. We never had this scenario before. We never had this happen. So like a lot of people are reaching out and they're upset, right? And so like they're creating an indicator on the platform with your vault to tell you where you're at in line for redemptions. So being that we can't really determine where we're at right now in a line, you can look at the liquidations and what order you are by that. but it's not good enough to tell you where you're at against redemptions. They're going to create an indicator to give you if like you're green, yellow, or red, or maybe like where you're at somehow in the ecosystem, so you can act accordingly. The harder we pump, the more you want to be, the higher you want your collateral ratio, so you're at the back of the line if you don't want that happening against you. So it's really interesting, because the harder we pump, the more the USDL will lose peg, because the more people are buying, people are FOMOing. People are buying. They're creating vaults. They're buying more. They're doing the whole haunted strategy. Everyone loves the haunted strategy. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like other people love that. And so like they're doing that, and it's causing it to lose peg over and over and over again. So you're on mute, Dane.
Oh, appreciate that, Corey. No, it's interesting to be in some of this uncharted territory in regards to the Pulse chain and PulseX and some of these protocols and how they work. And the guys are figuring it out. So as always, just be wise about how you're using things. And
yeah, it was a $400 lesson for me. I really wanted to make sure I dug in and figured out what the heck happened there, because I didn't understand the risk to the upside. I only understood the risk to the downside, which is fine. Diversify your risk. That's a very, very true. So now I know, right? Like it's you have risk to the upside because of the stablecoin depegging. It's bad for your vaults. But if you manage it and you keep high collateral ratios, you can still do this. You can still participate. You can still make the yield. Unfortunately, it's not the yield that I was projecting. Like I was keeping my collateral around 250-ish. And I was figuring on my full bag of Pulse that I put in there, I was making around 40% APY, which is massive. Now it's like, you cut that in half. It's like around 20% APY, what you're really making on that Pulse. And so it's like, I'm making 15% in the node validator. I don't know. I was going to take all my node validators and put in the liquid loans. And now I'm like, nah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll just go open longs on Fame.
Right. If there's any juice to be able to do so.
Yeah, if there's any liquidity in there, man. I imagine, God, the liquidity is getting hammered out of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's just stupid. It is so exciting. We're here. Those of you guys that experienced the Hex run, we have not, and getting a small taste now, which is really exciting. In fact, Dylan's on here. Appreciate Dylan. Gave us a huge shout out that we looked at yesterday on Cabana's show. That was great. I called Dylan this morning and I said, man, like, I feel like I'm feeling too euphoric for my own good. This has to be a local top. And the fact of the matter is nobody knows. There could be so much juice left in the tank. And so, like you just want to be wise about how you're doing anything and try to be smart, even when you're feeling euphoric or depressed. Be smart about your decision making so that you can win the game.
I was on a Zoom call with Sprackburger this morning, and I had him doing some TA for me. And on the charts, man, we've blown through the local resistance. The next resistance on Pulse is not to 3015.
Really?
Yeah, he says this is a liquidity gap here, and he goes it should just run, and he's thinking PulseX, man. It's the next resistance is 407.
Really?
407 for PulseX, 3015. I didn't have him look at Hex. I should have had him look at Hex too. But man, that's wild. Like, I don't know. And I mean, it could blow past that. Once you get past the all-time high, it's just pure price discovery. It's any man's guess. You have no data going back to show you. There's no, anybody who sold should have sold by that point. You might still have some whales in there that might still take profits, and that's fine. That's natural. But like, it's once you get past the all-time high, man, it's it. It's any man's guess at that point.
We're sailing. We are sailing. Let me go ahead and show that real quick.
Oh, dude, we got to get off the show, bro. No, this is it.
Briz is here.
You gotta wind it down, dude. It's Briz is the top call.
That's right. Yeah. So for those of you that are just tuning in, Corey was saying, yeah, you look at where price action is right now. We're at a little bit of a sell down. This is on the daily. There's a zone. We passed this zone here of liquidity. We passed this one right here.
Go. That's the one.
Through it. So we got another, potential zone here to pass right here. Maybe another one right in here, and then all-time highs, and we are gone.
I don't know what we're gonna do if we get past that, bro. That's
yes, right?
Oh my gosh, man.
All right, let's go. All right, let me grab this was cool. We are seeing, so you guys, this is just stupid. Okay, a couple of things that I was really hopeful we would see that frankly I wasn't holding my breath. So the first was the SAC wallet. If we could see on chain that funds were moving from the SAC address, holy cow, like hold on to your shorts. We've seen that. We've seen that this week. The other thing that I was really freaking hopeful for is that Richard would shout out good stuff build on Pulse Chain that were not his things. That's a big deal. Like Richard has never done this from my understanding. If you guys understand differently in the comments, post it in the chat. But I don't think Richard has ever done something like this where he's shouting out things at least as explicitly as this. And he's shouting them out on Pulse Chain, on his ecosystem. So he says, hold on. Oh, it just went away because I zoomed in. There we go. He says, haters, don't pretend there's no liquidity. It looks to be over $7 million of liquidity across Pulse, PulseX, and Hex on fiat. There's 1.6 million open interest on Fame. Just seethed in silence. Shoo. And then he also, let me find the other one. He shouted.
There was two of them.
There was two. He shouted them out twice. Or he says, let's see. Haters, if you weren't broke, you could short the coins I founded. And if you don't have the balls to short, maybe it's a sign you should buy. Fame lets you short and fiat lets you borrow to sell short. Their GMX version 1 and Aave version 2 forks. I have nothing to do with the projects. Remember that trading or borrowing to trade is death, and you shouldn't do it.
I love it, man. That is full. That is full in my eyes. That's full endorsement.
Oh, that's a rubber stamp. Let's go.
That's rubber stamp, full endorsement. Good to go. I want to, congratulate this gentleman here. He's been a big part of the launch and everything going on with the PH ecosystem. I'm expecting some pretty good fireworks to come along in that ecosystem in this bull run, man. I kept my bags. They're just over there staked right now doing their thing. Yep. And yeah, man, I'm super, super excited to see what comes out of this, man. I mean, we know that Aave was one of the highest performing assets on Ethereum, and it was one of the few assets, I don't know if you know this data, that went 99% down before it freaking did its tear.
Oh, yeah. And it did hundreds of X's.
Yes. Yeah. So, this stuff, guys, it's any man's land. They still have very low market caps. I mean, I think Fame, I don't know, Fame might be at 30 million now. Who knows? Fiat, I'm sure Dylan knows these market caps. Fiat, maybe, I don't know, 20 million, 25 million. Aave did a 20,000x. Can you imagine if Fiat does even a quarter of that?
Jeez.
Dude, oh my gosh.
It's stupid.
It's just getting stupid. It's breaking my brain.
Right.
We're starting to break. I didn't think we'd ever get to this point in the market cycle. I really didn't.
We're here, Corey. We are here.
Oh,
it was interesting that I was thinking through it. Just like everybody knows this here, right? It's really fascinating to look at how important it is to be early, because man, like something like I think Pulse is like a 2x off the bottom, Hex roughly the same.
More than that.
And Pulse X was like a 3x when I looked earlier. Yeah, it's probably more now.
Yeah.
And when we run with those numbers, depending upon, what you think, how hard you think things are going to run, like if you think it was going to be 100x on Pulse X, we're already up a 3x. Essentially, there's another, like 33x to run from there to get to the 100x target. And so you're looking at at least I was looking at my portfolio value in the last few days. And I'm like, man, if we get a 10x from here, or 5x, a 20x, a 50x from here, how am I feeling? And I got to tell you guys, I'm feeling pretty good. It's exciting to be here. Exciting to be here.
It makes you feel like you moving to Puerto Rico might be worth the move.
Yeah. Well, we need to freaking get over there ASAP so I can shelter these gains.
I'm already there. Even though I'm
Uh-huh.
in AZ right now, I'm under the Act 60. I can go buy and sell all I want here in Arizona, and I'm protected.
Yep.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Paul says, yeah, please sell the bottom harder. Needed the break even. Baby's gone. Yep. Yep. There will be more selling. In fact, I think, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a good amount more selling before all-time highs and into all-time highs here. But man, once we can get all that weight off, we're pretty clear skies, which is exciting. I'm excited to see that. Gosh, we might be there in the next week or so, next few weeks even, which is crazy.
Hard to say. I mean, it's hard to believe that we don't have some kind of massive pullback. You know, I've always wanted to like keep myself conservative and realistic with this stuff. Like we've been ripping hard for days now. Like, where does the pullback come? Where do we, what does it go back down to? I mean, usually when stuff rips and keeps on ripping, the longer it rips, the harder the pullback too, right? Like that's just to be expected. But then again, this is not your normal cryptocurrency project, normal layer one. You don't have a massive Godwell and an origin address with the biggest DAI wallet on and the whole crypto space pulling the strings, right? We don't see that. I don't think Charles Hoskinson, I always say his name wrong.
I think it's Hoskinson.
Hoskinson. Does he buy his coin? Does he do does he preach the stock buyback narrative? I don't know. I don't watch enough of his content to know if he does do those kind of things. Does he have a best friend who's a Godwell? I don't know. You know, I'm not over there, right? But Cardano did really well the last market cycle. It did really well. And I think Cardano will do well this market cycle too, but not in comparison to us. We're going to freaking smoke it in gains. We're going to smoke most stuff in gains. I believe that. I got a little depressed there too, guys, in the bear. I didn't stop buying though. I kept buying, but I was like, yeah, I guess if we do a 20x from the bottom, yeah, I'll be good. I could sell there and I'll make it worth it, for me doing all this and moving to Puerto Rico. And, now I'm like, man, I don't know. And maybe it's the euphoric. I may have to reset my expectations. I don't know. I need to talk to some of my well friends over in Puerto Rico. I also need to give Dylan a call. I'm like, bro, like, what's going on here, man? What do I do here? And where do you stop DCAing? Like, that's the other part too. Like, I haven't DCA'd recently, and it's funny, man, because I got to do it one DCA like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, man, it hurts, but it does, bro. God, I was throwing up in my mouth every time. Literally throwing up in my mouth. And it sucked because like I'm broke in the real world and I'm sitting here putting more money in crypto. It's like what at the bottom?
Rich, cash poor.
I'm like broken. I'm in the real world. I'm all right. I got money to live, but like in comparison to the way I normally am, I'm broke in the real world right now. I'm like, it's like, man, I can't believe I look back, I'm like, man, how did I pull that off? Like, I can't believe I was putting money in. Even 2 weeks ago, I did a DCA. It was like a week and a half. It was when I was snow skiing. Whenever I went snow skiing, I did a DCA. Probably hear my baby crying back there. But yeah, I mean, this has been wild, man. And where do you stop DCAing now? That's the next question. Like, where do you I guess if you have bags built, you could turn off the DCA, or if you're not satisfied with your portfolio, you could keep DCAing. But where do you draw the line? And I guess it's different for everybody where, you draw the line, but it's like, man, I don't know. It's a hard question.
And I think that there's a balance between what you feel secure going up and what you feel, is more of a lottery ticket. So I know for me, like with Richard Hart's stuff, that I feel really comfy, right? We're not going to get, and once again, we don't give any financial advice here. Everything could go up in smoke and go to zero tomorrow. We don't know. But I know for me, I feel really comfy if I put stuff and if I put money in Richard Hart tokens that, that we're going up. over time, certainly for this bull run. Now, how much is anybody's guess.
Yeah.
And so, who knows? But gosh, even as price continues to run, that's a safer haven, a blue chip, if you will, and I'll treat it accordingly. So that's my thought. But yeah, it'll be interesting as we have more capital rolling. How do you want to place it?
I like this. Start DCA once we retrace for at least 5 days in a row. Seems to be a safe bet based on the last.
I like that.
Okay. And it's going to happen. Like nothing just keeps going up. Even in the bull, like you're going to have massive retracements. And even look at Hex. I think Hex 13 times dropped 80%. I don't know what it was. You guys could correct me in the comments. On its way up to 10,000X. So like this is going to be no different. It's still cryptocurrency. So you're going to have these massive pullbacks. At what levels? I don't know. What does 80% drop look like from here, or even a 50% pullback? I don't know. How far does it go up before it does that? Do we make it? We hit the all-time high, and then do we go down 80%? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. That'll be interesting. I'll give you guys a win, a big freaking win. I'm pumped. One of our guys in our mastermind, arguably our heaviest hitter, dude just sold off about 5,000 units in real estate to be able to just get off as half of his portfolio, to get off the lesser performing portions of his real estate portfolio, to be able to take the capital and do whatever they're going to do. The way that he built his real estate portfolio, I was asking him at the last event that we went to with him, I said, bro, like, how did you do this? Like, this is
massive.
This
guy's a whale in the real estate space.
Yeah, it's like $100 million of real estate, or 80 to 100 million. I was like, how did you build this? Because he's not old. He's, he's, in fact, I think he's somewhere between me and Corey. I'm 36, Corey 46, right?
44. Yep.
44. So right in between us. And he said, honestly, like, I've done this for 20 years. This is all that I've done. His wife is a pretty high earner in her own right. And so she pays the bills. She pays for the day-to-day stuff. And literally for 20 years, he's done real estate, taken practically no profits, and just stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked. And so this was the first time in their 20-year journey in real estate they're actually taking some profits. And good for him. He put about, if I'm not mistaken, about $1 million into Hex at the top, at the very tippy top of this last cycle. And we all know how that went. He called me, I think it was 2 or 3 days right before the SAC wallet started buying. He said, Dane, I've got about $250,000 I want to deploy. So we talked through, how one could consider doing that. And he texted me the next day. He said, Dane, it's all deployed. And I was like, what? But you went for it, so good for you. And then the SAC wallet started buying. Zoom, let's go! Oh, I'm so pumped for him. So now
I am too, because he got that $1 million at the top, right? And so like his cost basis was based around the 20 to 40 cent range or whatever he bought at. Right. That's his cost basis in the ecosystem. And I know he sacrificed for Paul Sexton, I think, too, which we all know how that went, right? Yeah. Another one. Right. And so like the fact that he was able to come in with that chunk of change and bring that average way down, now he's going to be experiencing some pretty cool profits. Yeah. He's going to be experiencing some pretty sick gains.
Oh man, it's freaking awesome. So I'm really excited about that. There was another one in here that I wanted to...
I'll touch on this one. I remember he called me. This is my brother, guys. He called me. He's like, dude, I want to buy ICOSA. Which one should I buy? I was like, well, which is the cheaper one? He's like, eICOSA. And I was like, how much? And it was like 8 cents then for a PICOSA, and it was 5 cents for eICOSA. I'm like, buy eICOSA. They should go parity. And it worked out, dude.
Let's go. He's not far off a double there. That's great.
Yeah.
This is cool. Oliver, yeah. Corey and Dane, this moment right now is deja vu. Hex January 16, 2020, 3 zeros and a 1. April 2020. 2 zeros and a 5. I remember that time, and it moved crazy. January to April.
That's all we're at. Then we have a long ways to go.
Well, that's what is that? That's a 50x, right?
Yeah. So you think one? Right. Correct. That's a 50x.
Yeah, that's a 50x.
Yeah, that's a 50x.
Do you guys think? I'm really curious. Like, post in the comments. Now, once again, nobody gives financial advice here. We're all under that understanding. Where do you guys think that we're headed to? I mean, what are the X's you think we could see on some of this Richard Hart stuff? Like what are you, in your nether regions? What are they saying to you as far as the X's? Post them in the comments. I'm curious kind of where sentiment is at. I tell you, it's a lot different than where it was freaking 2 weeks ago.
I would love to ask that question to Buck.
He would be a really interesting Dylan. If Dylan's still here, Dylan, what would Buck say?
What would Buck say? Buck's still on the camp of a 30x from the bottom, and that's it. Like, I that's fine. I'll just be curious to know if that's where his where he's still at, and that's where he stands. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
There he is.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Dylan,
yeah,
if we were to ask
from the bottom. Yeah, how many X's from the bottom on RH assets? What do you think? Were to ask once again, we're just like goofing around. Yeah, what do you think our friend Buck would say? Is his sentiment changed from the 30x? It's got to have. Richard's at the helm now.
Perhaps, but Buck likes to look at the market cap. And so the market cap is, you know, you look at like 100x on Pulse right now. Pulse is about $1 billion market cap. And so that's 100 billion, which is, that's still feasible. I think Cardano did that. You could do that, but you're still like, okay, a 500x, what can Pulse reach to a $500 billion market cap? That's the part that like it gets. Is that possible? I don't know, right? Yeah, Buck Brizology has a good point right there. Buck pulls out 100 years of measuring techniques. If we're lucky, we might see it at next. But he's right that Buck brings this information over from the TradFi world, and so like all the
he's a lot more conservative, yeah,
in the stock world, and so like yeah, it's not. Crypto can do things that are unrealistic. It does it all the time. So, but still, a $500 billion market cap. Can Pulse ever reach $1 trillion market cap? Like that's the full market cap, the entire cryptocurrency space in the bear market, right? So like if we go to a $10 trillion market cap in the crypto space this cycle, what are the odds that 1/10 of that is our ecosystem? Like that's the part that gets me like, and is that possible?
Yeah.
You know,
these guys.
Brizology is an ink token maxi, and he's freaking killing it right now.
Oh man, right.
The bastard is killing the ink token trade right now. Yeah, you guys did call the bottom.
Yeah, props to you guys. That was really cool.
They did. Really cool. And I listened.
Yep.
That's why I was throwing up in my mouth when I was buying.
Yep.
Buck, I was like, this has got to be the bottom. These guys are like, and I've seen Dylan do it before. Dylan actually called like 2 hex bottoms.
Right.
He did. He called like 2. It was really remarkable. So
call the top, Dylan. How many X's? Let's hear it, brother. Let's hear it. Mike says he thinks a penny to 5 cents. I watched an RH video and he said people don't want one coin like BTC and transact in decimals. They want lots of coins. So if it's worth 1 to 5 cents, it would be easy for retail to transact. That's an interesting thought. Huh.
Yep, I agree with that. You know, it's interesting. So I think from the bottom, you know, and these are all the RH assets in general. For the bottom, I don't measure anything in SAC terms no more, guys. SAC terms, it's negated. It is gone. Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of liquidity there. Of course, a lot of locked people who got trapped in those areas, but that's gone. There's no more measuring from SAC price. You measure from the bottom. We have plenty of time to throw up in our mouth and buy the bottom. Plenty of time. So from the bottom, I think 100x is possible. I'm getting in that camp where 100x is possible from the bottom. After that, I don't know. You know, it's hard still. It's still a hard pill for me to swallow, thinking about how a $500 billion market cap to each coin too, right? Like you have a $500 billion market cap on Pulse. You're going to have like a 200 billion market cap on Pulse X. You got another $500 billion market cap on Hex. Like, are those feasible numbers? Yeah, sure. Maybe if the crypto space is a $20 trillion market cap, maybe. See,
and I think some of these takes are really good. Yeah, like Stoke, 483 483x from the bottom would match Polygon. Yeah, by the way, it's
on market cap also Stoic. Stoic. He's got to know. Yeah, that's a smart dude. By the way, Stoic, I love your protocol. I use Coast all the time.
Coast is dope.
We run all our onboards through Coast. All the onboards, unless they live in Texas or New York.
Yeah, freaking Texas is the worst when it comes to turning money into crypto. Yeah.
But like we love you guys, man. Thank you so much for what you do for the ecosystem. One of these days, maybe if you up for it, we'll have you come on the show and shill the most stable of all cryptos.
That's right. That's right.
Shill the most stable of all cryptos. I love it.
Here's Dylan. These are some good takes. Yeah, so I replied above. I think Buck is always a doomer, but he's very bullish right now. Buck would probably say we could 100x, but it's dependent upon ETH.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, I like that. I think Hex can get back to all-time highs. I think after that, it's off to the races.
Oh, all-time high, bro. I'm already flying you out to Puerto Rico, Dylan. We're gonna.
We're hanging out on the Islands territory. Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you guys don't want to come. If we're going to all-time high,
we'll throw a party.
We'll throw a big old party in Puerto Rico. Now, me and Dane don't party like some of you guys. I'm still in bed by 10 o'clock max. I don't drink or do drugs. So, like, I'll drink some coffee with you in the morning. That's about as party as I get. Or some kava. I like kava. That's about it. But, we'll go out. We'll rent a yacht, and we'll hang out, man. I'm not buying a yacht. I got no interest really in buying one, but I would love to rent one maybe for a week and go out and hang out with the buddies. Maybe do some deep sea fishing. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, and some comments here that are interesting ones where people are saying market cap doesn't matter.
It matters. Come on.
It does. Yeah.
Like, so you're telling me like, we could surpass the market cap of all crypto. Like, how is that possible? Like, how do you, that means that's the amount of economic energy stored in that ecosystem. Like, we got one of my boys in here. I love Motley. Motley, does market cap matter? You would know. Dylan, does market cap matter? You would know. These guys know. Brizology, I want to ask you too. You're an OG, dude. You love Bitcoin. Does market cap matter? I mean, it matters. It can maybe not matter on the short time frame because liquidity pools can push up something really hard. If you have thin liquidity, it can skyrocket a coin. But then the market cap kicks in because all these guys have this economic energy. They're rich. They're really rich, and they can sell down the coin. They can sell down that move. So you can have massive moves at the upside, and market cap doesn't matter. But then when the coin gets sold down, that's because market cap matters.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's a good comment. Shout out to Kaiza. If you guys aren't following Kaiza on Twitter, this is one of the best Twitter accounts, period.
I agree.
Does a great job clipping up videos like ours and other streamers. Yeah.
In his own way.
That can't sit through 5-hour streams and have things to do during the day. Shout out to Kaiza so we can get the highlights. It's like Sports Center's top 10. I can get the top 10 crypto. It's great.
That's a great point, man. It's a great point. He does that. He grabs all the biggest alpha, and it doesn't have to be like bullish alpha. He'll do anything, man, and he'll clip it if it's just alpha in general and put it up. And man, that's his contribution to the community, and he kills it. I hope his Twitter account grows into the hundreds of thousands in the bull.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I saw this clip actually. The KDP was saying less than a 500x, and Richard wouldn't get his glory. It's interesting because like I think everything could do a 10. Like, now I'm not saying it will, but under the scenario that everything magically did a 10,000x, and Richard says Hex did another 10,000x, and my new stuff Pulse and PulseX and Inkall did a 10,000x. There's still going to be people that are never going to give Richard his glory. And so I don't think you necessarily can categorize it by saying like, well, how many X's does Richard get his glory? I mean,
I think he's
got a 500X, by the way. Put it out there into the ether. We're here for it. That'd be great.
I hope I'm still wrong about my price expectations. I always keep saying that. I want to be wrong. I hope we can overtake the market cap of crypto. I don't know how that's possible. Prove me wrong. Please.
Love to be wrong.
Please prove me wrong. Oh my God. I know you guys would love it too.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Dylan, this is good. Don't get caught fading these moves.
That I won't do. Yeah, you had that right. I won't be selling anytime soon.
Hold on to your shorts. Agreed. Yeah, let me grab.
And if pullbacks come, I'm for that too. Like I would gladly see some pullbacks here.
Yeah, all part of the journey. Problem is how big some of those top SAC wallets are and what those
Big.
portfolios do worth they dumped at those prices.
They're big. You got some big dogs in the ecosystem. I mean, really big dogs who sacrifice millions of dollars. But like, it's like any other market. Like, how many big dogs do you have in Cardano? I'm sure a lot. I'm sure there's some serious Cardano whales, right? And Cardano did an amazing last market cycle. Now, I don't know if it did a 10,000x. I don't think it did. I don't know what it did but you have that in every ecosystem. You have the whales, you got the massive sharks, and you got the big dolphins. A big dolphin can put a price dent, or he can put a dent on the price chart too. But you have those in all your ecosystems. It's nothing par from the course. Now, does it like matter? Yeah, it matters though. That is part of why the market cap is on the larger size, because we had so many whales and sharks and dolphins born out of the Hex 10,000X. Those guys were born out of that, and then they went into PulseX, and obviously, Ink token if you're Brizology. But you go into that from being the gains you captured from the last cycle. So now we're a little bit heavier than your typical brand new layer one that just launched. I'll give you an example. There's a layer one that I kind of like. I put a little bit. I mean, I'm talking like a little bit of money. I wish I'd put more because it's doing really well. It's called a lithium. A lithium had a market cap of 20 million. 20 million. It's a layer one. It's a layer one blockchain. It had a 20 million market cap. We launched with like $1 billion market cap. That's a magnitude of difference. And that's the only part that's still, I'm listening. Convince me differently, please. Please convince me. But that's where I get my okay, because we do have that big money in the ecosystem, and these guys need only maybe a 5x, a 10x. Now I get it. Once they exit, there's a lot of guys who will come in if we're frothy enough, if retail's coming in, if Richard's pulling the strings correctly, there's guys who come in and will eat that money up. And that's part of the bull run, right? These guys can exit, and then new money can come in, keep pushing the price chart up. It just has to be enough new money coming in. Maybe Richard's using SAC funds, or maybe the Godwell's buying it, who knows? And then it can off balance that and keep pushing it up through these guys who only need a 5x, 10x, 20x. I mean, I've said it many times. I get a 20x, I'm good. I've said it. Now, will I take my profits there? I don't know. Probably not now that we got clarity on Richard. That was before I had clarity on Richard, right? I was like, well, if I get a 20x, I'm good. I can, I justified me moving to Puerto Rico. I justified me going through all the pain that I went through in this bear market. But now with more clarity, it's like, okay, do I believe we're going to do more to 20x? Absolutely now. There is no question.
Richard's at the helm.
Yeah, Richard's at the helm. There is no doubt in my head that we're not getting a 20x unless the world, obviously outside of macroeconomics, we could go to freaking war tomorrow and something stupid could happen, and that just affects everything. Who cares about what's happening in crypto if something bad happens in the world? But that's just normal conditions keep transpiring throughout this cycle. The 20x, man's a joke.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
My opinion, once again, guys, it's not financial advice. Let's keep reiterating that. I don't want to get freaking letters from the SEC. Some of you guys like doing that. This is not financial advice. Go buy bonds and talk to a financial advisor. Somebody who can place your money for you. Go talk to one of those guys.
We talked to a handful of people, and they're like, "My financial advisor says to stay away from crypto." I'm like, "We're going to be."
Oh yeah, we had like the one guy from the family mastermind. I was like, "Oh my gosh, bro! Really?" He was almost in. We almost had him in, and this guy's got a lot of money. And then he's like, "No, guys, I talked to my financial advisor this morning, and he said to stay away from you." Okay.
I hope I get 4% this year on my money.
And guys, this was 3 or 4 months ago. This would have been the bottom. He would have bought the bottom.
Yep. I'll tell you this, onboarding has been so much easier in the last 4 days than it's been for 2 years. It's been stupid.
Yeah.
So Corey and I have been posting like crazy on social media because we feel like now, well, I had a conversation the other day with the guy, and he said, "Oh, you probably want to keep quiet about the things that are going on because you don't want to invite problems into your life." And I don't know if you guys follow Alex Hormozy on social media. Everyone should. I think Alex is dope.
He's good if you're in sales. If
He's
you are
great.
trying to,
He's
if you're
great.
trying to build a business, trying to build offers, he's
Yeah.
great.
But Alex made a video, and this is really impactful on me. He said, that he took a step back and he saw somebody like The Rock, who turned almost billionaire overnight, where he had some really cool things going on, but then he created his alcohol brand. We're not advocates for alcohol. You do you. But nonetheless, he created this alcohol brand, and the alcohol brand made him a billionaire. It was almost overnight. It was wild. He looked at somebody like one of the Kardashians, and our makeup brand did the same thing. And the reason that they're able to do those because people know them, because they're front and center. They're big on social media. They're in your face. You see people like that all over. And he made a conscious decision. He said, I know I'm going to have to deal with some BS because I'm going to put myself out there, but also like I have a mission, I have an impact to have on the world. And if I have to deal with some BS to be able to fulfill that, then I'm for it, then I'm about it. And we feel the same way. So there's going to be some prices to pay, certainly. But gosh, like now is the time, in my opinion, if we're not going to be shilling the top. We're not the guys, or at least we're going to do our best not to. But man, we're definitely going to be shilling the bottom. We've been doing it for 2 years. And it is beautiful and remarkable to see people being interested now and not wanting to miss out. The FOMO is kicking in. A lot of people are more open, which is great.
Yeah, because if I legitimately feel like we can still get like 20 or 30x from these levels, which I'm in that camp now, because Richard's back at the helm. Once again, just kind of reiterating why that the story's changed a little bit. Then yeah, I still can honestly still bring people into DCA. They don't have bags yet, so they should still DCA and still get themselves a bag. I feel like they can get some good upside potential from where we're at now. And so, you do you. It's tough. Like I said, you can go talk to a financial advisor and buy stocks and bonds.
Yep.
Put your money in a CD at the bank.
I hope I can get 2% this year. Oh man, this is actually an interesting comment. So they're referencing market cap. You can see that market cap means nothing because there's no real world assets whatsoever. And then Pulse Chain Hex completely bottomed to dead, network dead, zero volume. He still had $1 to $6 billion in market cap.
It is a fake number.
All fake numbers. And this is interesting from a real estate perspective. No $1 billion building. It's an interesting take.
It is, but that still represents how much economic energy can sell down the price.
Right.
That still represents what's being held in people's hands that can be sold. I don't know. I mean, I don't think some of our well friends are going to be trillionaires.
Sure.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Now, once again, you take everybody at their word. You never know if what somebody's saying is truthful. So like you take everything with a grain of salt. I was in the DMs chatting with a whale in the Pulse Chain ecosystem earlier this week, or maybe it was this weekend. And he was giving us props, likes what we got going on, wants to get involved in some real estate stuff, which is cool. And I said, look, like give me some perspective from a whale's perspective. If you have a well position in anything, you can't reasonably exit it without destroying the thing that you're part of. Yeah. So like, what's the thought process behind A, getting that large of a position, and B, like managing it? What's expectations with that large of a position? What's the thought process? Because it's very different than somebody's got $1,000 in, hoping for a 10,000x, right?
I know a few of those.
Yeah, we do. And so like it was really interesting where they said, he told me, he's like, Dan, I don't need any more money. Like I've got money. I've got the things that I want. He says, I like being involved in something like this where I can provide price stability. I'm definitely going to get mine. He's like, I'm going to take profits. I'm going to make a bunch of money from LPing. It's going to be awesome. But he said some pretty impactful things where he wanted to be involved in a movement like this, wanted to provide price stability, and have a piece of the pie and something going forward that he thinks has longer term staying power. And I thought that was cool. Now, once again, you hope everybody's being honest, but I thought it was an interesting take.
It's about being more than in something than just yourself, right? It's about being part of something that's bigger and more than you. It's the same kind of ideology that Richard's like, I'm in this for all the glory and to be able to like make the world a better place. Like for Richard, it was never about the money. I'm sure that, Richard makes money from this ecosystem. That's great. He should, like whether it's LP, and I know he has really strong LP positions that made a lot of money, but he's not in it for that. And so like some of these whales, it could be the same kind of ideology there. It's like, hey, I just want to be part of something bigger than me. And this is it, right? Like and he gets to provide tremendous value by providing price stability in the ecosystem and providing value through liquidity, providing value through running a bunch of node validators and supporting the ecosystem through full decentralization, right? He gets to provide that value in that aspect. And so it's a different mindset than the guy, like you said earlier. It's like, I'm going to put $1,000 in here and hope I make $1 million. We got a couple of those in the community. We see them all over the Twitter. They're the worst toxic people that we possibly could have in the space. But
now to clarify, not all of them. Many of them are awesome. Shout out to those of you that have a good attitude, but some of you MFers,
yes. Well, there's a group. Okay, we'll just say there's a certain group that is that's just a few $1,000s here and there or whatever it is, and they're just most toxic people that's come across I've ever. I mean, it's horrible. And it seems like the more we go up in price, it's just getting worse, unfortunately. Whatever. We got a lot of good people. It's like any space. You have the good and the bad. Yeah, I feel like 90, you might not look this way sometimes, but I feel like 90 to 95% of the community is awesome.
Yeah.
Is great. It's the best community I've ever been part of. It's I even compare it to like the real estate community that's part of. I know a lot of guys in the real estate space, and a lot of my best friends are in the real estate space. That's how I met you, right? And so like I can compare it to that, and I think this community's grown for me over that community, as far as friends are concerned, as far as how much I love the people that are in the space, the mindset of a lot of these guys. I mean, all my PR friends, man, they're amazing individuals. I love these guys. I went to one guy. I won't mention names or anything, but one guy on Thanksgiving, I went over to his house. I mean, this guy is worth a lot of money. And I went to another one over, right before Christmas. And so, like, these guys are amazing individuals. They're go-givers. They're not out there flashing their money around. They have good mindset. They have good morals. They have good values. I love these people. So it's it's a fun journey, man. And it's fun to see the different spectrums of these the types of people. But
yep, absolutely. We are reaching all-time highs on price charts and reaching all-time highs on viewer counts on our channel. We appreciate you guys. If you're new here, we're here to pump everybody's bag. Smash the like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. We're here for you guys. Seriously, we appreciate you.
Yeah, pump the algorithm, man. We need a little bit of pumping to bring this channel to 5,000, 10,000 subs. That would be awesome. I think on my channel it's 2,000 almost. Dane, what do you have on yours? Maybe 500.
No, I don't know. We're pushing everything to yours. So I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. I haven't checked either. So let's pump those up really high, guys, and let's be we want to be a cut through the noise, the narrative type channel, especially in the bull run when everyone's telling you to stake your coins 5555. And and never sell, never selling, stake everything 5555. Like, we're gonna cut through that noise and tell you what we're doing, how we're doing it, and call the BS out. Yep. So it's yeah.
What are your guys post in the comments? I'm curious your guys' take. What's the next third-party protocol Richard gives a shout out to?
Well, didn't he shout out LL already? I think he did on a.
I don't think he came straight out and said it. He talked about a lending platform, and therefore it could have either been fiat or LL.
It could have been. Yeah, he wasn't as
clear. Out and say liquid loans though.
He wasn't as clear as he was today. Like today, it was like he shout out the names. That's like not.
Richard never does that.
No, that's not an RH move, but it does. what's great about the PH protocols or the product set is that Buck built something that fits in right with the narrative that RH likes to preach to his haters, right? Like
it's beautiful. Yeah, come wreck yourself.
It's quite the beautiful marriage that, and so RH is like, okay, well, he wasn't going to build, he's not going to build something that you can go short hex on, right? He's not going to do that. But he said it on his live streams many times. He's like, oh, why don't you guys go build something that's short hex?
Place, yeah.
Yeah, like he said it. And so like now it's here. And so like for him, I think it's like, man, it's probably the next best thing to RH products now because he's shilling it. I mean, you can say Icosa's there because he has shilled HSI stakes.
That's true.
Hedron, you know, even though I think Hedron's
he's kind of lightly touched. This is the most blatant, like, look at these cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where this was like he actually tagged. I don't know if you saw the tweet. He tagged them. Like it was like,
yeah.
I don't know the next one, man. I don't really see any other product that fits into a narrative that he would like because that's why it fits into a narrative that he can promote. And I just don't know if there's another product out there that does that. And I could be wrong, and I hope there's other stuff there is that comes out that does fit something that he would call out on if it's good stuff, only if it's good. I don't think he's going to shout out Teddy Bear. Maybe he would.
No, I don't think so either.
I could be wrong, right? If Teddy Bear does a 10,000X, he might be like, oh, we got a meme coin that did a 10,000X. He might like reference the 10,000. I don't know. Who knows, right?
Yep, exactly. Gosh, you guys got all sorts of good stuff I could comment here in the comments.
Put them up. Yep.
Yeah, good thing your friend let you know Richard was buying Dylan before the community caught on. Makes it a lot easier to call the bottom when the founder is putting it in. Yep.
Yeah, that is
You're not wrong. We appreciate you guys.
Honest truth. In fact, you know, the bottom was well in by the time the OA started buying. It was well in. In fact, I felt like it was the bottom for a while now. And I've been saying it on this show. Like, the bottom is in, guys.
Bounce off that support, and then we're off.
Yeah, you could go back and look on the show. That's what I felt like it was in. I didn't like say, hey, that, but like it looked like a bottom the way it came in, and then it came up, and then like did this like cup and handle type structure, and then the OA started buying. Of course, that is the ultimate confirmation. I don't know what else you need besides that. And props to Dylan and Buck. They did call it before the OA started buying for sure. It was amazing. So I don't know. You guys had plenty of time who are in the community to pack your bags. If you didn't, I still feel like DCAing is still going to get you. Once again, we can say it again, how you can still get your 20 or 30X here. If it goes higher, I don't know.
We don't give any financial advice. We don't do forward-looking price projections. We don't know.
Like stocks and bonds. This is what my bags. I'm projecting my bags, right? So
right.
Yeah, so it's interesting stuff.
It is. No, and I think it's interesting to explore like how market caps are calculated. So this is, once again, like I think these are fair things to think through. You know, anyone can make a token, make 150 trillion tokens. If it can sustain a 1 cent price among sellers temporarily, it's holding a $1.5 trillion market cap. That doesn't mean there's any real value or really any real assets.
What if in said token you had 10 people that held the majority of those tokens with the 1 cent value? Could those 10 people tank the 1 cent valuation by dumping the coins?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, what if someone was 9 out of 10 said people and was the largest die holder in all of crypto and wanted to make said market cap continue in an upward trajectory?
There's arguments on both ends. But
right. Yeah. No, but it isn't interesting from a marketing perspective. Yeah, like if you go and create something as far as these guys categorizing tokens on a market cap basis, Richard has absolutely kind of skewed things where his stuff has large market caps, and theoretically, if it's ranked appropriately, his stuff should be ranked up really high. Yeah.
So I mean the one thing that he would love to brag about and absolutely put it in the hater's face again is if he blew the market cap completely
That would
beyond
actually be wild. That would
anybody's
be like a dunk
expectation.
on everybody moment.
He'd
Yeah.
be like, look, you stupid S. Like, I told you market cap don't matter. Crypto's at a $10 trillion valuation. I made Pulse alone 10 trillion for like a month. Like whatever
Well,
it
that
was. Right?
to me, that's more of like a claim the glory event than like saying I
It
got a
is a
certain
claim
number
to
of
glory
X's. That's
because
a claim the glory event.
it's a shove it in your face. I've been telling you this whole time that your market cap is stupid.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I could too. Yeah, and we haven't even hit the Bitcoin halving. Just getting started. Let's do it. Absolutely. Yep. Let's see.
I know, man. It's like, it's going to be an incredible year.
Gonna be just stupid. Yeah, the bullish switch has been flipped. Welcome to how quickly sentiment can shift in crypto. It seriously, I've been thinking about this a lot the last few days. It is wild how how everybody could be, I should say everyone, a huge amount of people could have felt like they disappeared and then magically reappear when with green candles, which frankly is fair. I think from a mental health perspective, I mean, this stuff's brutal. I saw, Corey, did you see Sami's clip where he talked about people in his comments all the time through the bear market, just talking mad trash? And like it's hard. It's hard. And I think it's fair if you need to take a step away for your own mental health. And there's something to be said about that. But man, it's nice to have everybody coming back, or a lot of them. I'm telling you guys, there's been a lot of people on Twitter talking about it with us over the last week or so. Like, now's the time to build bridges. Now's the time to have open hearts, clear minds.
What if you can't come back? What if you sold said token A, say what you sold token A to go in token B, but token B locks your economic energy up where you have to, punt out your money to where it comes out in increments of Ethereum or increments of other token that you might get back over time. They call it miners, right? What happens if you sold all your position to go into that? That's a pretty bad scenario, because by the time you get your economic energy back out of this one over here, this one over here could have already done a 10x. You've lost your seat. Or at least your original seat. You might as well come in and get a little bit of money. You might be able to do all right still, depending how big of a player you are, right? That's also depending how much economic energy you have. But like, that's because it's funny. The other bottom signal that I saw, I know some of you guys in this chat would agree with me because I'm in backroom chats with you and I see you talking about it. The other bottom signal that I saw, and I'll just go ahead and say it, was all the capitulation that we saw from Hexagons sell their liquid bags, Pulse X, and Hex, and go into Titan X. It was a week after that happened, the OA started buying. And I saw it all over Twitter. Now, I know all of them didn't capitulate, and I even told you I had a lottery stake in it. I have a lottery stake in Titan X, but I put new money in there. I didn't sell any of my RH bags, but there was Hexagons that sold their entire liquid RH positions to go over to Titan X, where you have to lock up miners over time or stake over time. Either way, it's economic energy over time. By the time you get that economic, unless that keeps up with Pulse or Pulse X, and it could. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But if Pulse does a 10x, and then now they're getting their money back, unless they did a 10x, and maybe they do, then they can swash that money back over here. But that, to me, man, was the biggest bottom signal.
Do you think that, so I've been wondering about this too. Do you think that, and you guys posted in the comments, what are your thoughts? Some of you guys were in the backroom chats with Richard in the early days, so you'll have really good insights on this. Do you think that Richard is watching some of these wallets?
I think,
that have used and abused the system?
Oh my
and
gosh,
he saw them get out, and he's like, "F these guys, let's go."
Come on. Of course.
I think so.
Of course. Richard knew we bottomed long ago. He had done other tweets that kind of reference stuff that we have bottomed, not directly, but there was stuff that he knew that we bought. I think he was waiting for the perfect time. It was that, and also the Bitcoin ETF. He knew the Bitcoin ETF was going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. It's going to crash crypto. I don't know if you saw like on Rand yesterday, like he pulled up the bubbles, and all the bubbles were red. All of them except the RH bubbles. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the perfect marketing.
The best marketing.
Right? The best marketing. So like he probably projected that into his play. You know, dude, we're just in a movie. We're in the Matrix, and like it's already been pre-scripted. We're just along for the ride. That's the way I look at it now. It's like, how can all these things play out so perfectly, right around the market cycle so perfectly, if we're just not in the Matrix and everything's scripted? But like, yeah, the Titan X capitulation was the massive bottom signal. Imagine we go off to do 100X. You go look back on the price chart right there and go right there. We saw, and we're not never say no names. We saw all these guys. Sure. I even saw people some crying on Twitter that people did this. You will point to them. That was the bottom. Like it was one of the biggest bottom signals. I couldn't believe it, dude. I just could not believe how big of a bottom indicator that was. I'm so glad I didn't sell my RH backs.
Yeah, agreed.
Because you're always second guessing stuff. Like you're always here, right? Yeah. You're like, oh my God, these whales are going over to Titan X. Maybe I'm an idiot for sticking around in RH. Like these guys are going over here saying that RH is dead. Like maybe I'm the idiot. Like you think that. Like it crosses your brain. We're all human. Like it crossed my brain. I'm like, Corey, that's stupid. Like just stick to the conviction. Stick to the game plan. It's a business plan like all your other businesses. Stick to it. But it's hard, man. It was hard. And so, yes, I am being empathetic. Brizology, I will welcome them back. In fact, even the haters on Twitter that are saying they're buying now. Like I saw one guy who's all buying. I went on there. I was like, oh, I just want to tell you how right I was and how wrong you are.
Yeah,
like his ego, right? You got his ego in there. All I did is I said, welcome back, sir. That's all I did. I'm going to be the bigger man, right? I don't need to go in there and spread hate and toxicity like some of the thousandaires that we have in our community. I'm not going to be that guy.
Thousandaires.
I'm going to thousandaires in our community, right? I'm not going to be that guy. And so I just said, welcome back, sir. And I saluted them. And it's great. He's already being punished by buying the top of my bag. He's buying the top of my bag. So why am I going to go in there and punish him more with insult? Let him come in, and I hope he gets a 20X. I hope he gets a 50X. I hope he gets a 100X. I hope. I do. Because then I got a 500X. Whatever it is. I hope. So welcome back, sir.
Yes.
We appreciate your economic energy coming back in. We love you. Come on in. Let's do this. Let's do this together now. But I have the seat before you. I won't tell you. I won't tell you that to your. But I'm thinking it. I have the seat before you. That's fine.
You nailed it.
And it's fine.
Seriously, and like shout out to. I think this is a great comment. Appreciate you saying this, Alpha. Seriously, like stuff like this is really important. A lot of toxics in the pulse space is sadly it's pushing people away. Fortunately, there are more professional people like you guys, or I'd be gone. Sadly, many gone. And I don't disagree. Like, frankly, if there weren't some of the guys, in fact, a lot of them are here in the chat today in the comments. If we hadn't met a lot of you guys, like we would have been gone as well, or certainly our convictions not where they're at. Sure. We've always liked Richard. Like, I think you're a dummy if you can't watch some Richard content, say this isn't the guy.
Well, it's your ego, man. Your ego gets in the way. That's why. Yeah. Ego is the biggest killer of opportunity.
Right. No, you're exactly. You nailed it. So like we're here because Richard's dope, and that's why everybody that's here right now, I think that's why pretty well everyone's here. But it's such a nice finesse if the community or people that you want to be around, and there's lots of little niches within that. So you figure out where you fit in, and then attract the people that are like you.
Yeah,
and you'll find your place.
Well said.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Johnny says it's nothing new. It's happened 10 times now. It always splits the community over and over again. It's just it's quite remarkable how this time around, Johnny, it was like the perfect bottom signal right before the OA started buying. It was just like the timing Like we had Zen, right? Zen was another one that was out, and I participated a little bit in Zen. I mean, it's one of my lottery plays, right? Even though I'm not under the founder, really, the guy is always wishy-washy on everything. He can't ever keep anything straight. But I participated, and that wasn't really a bottom signal, though. It was like it happened in the beginning of the bear. It did split the community. I remember that. It wasn't that like, oh my God, the mark the bottom. Like we saw whales, massive whales dump their bags, and they were doing chain analysis and go over to Titan X. I was like, holy crap. Like it was a big one. It was just like, and I got some buddies who did it. And that's what made me second guess myself. I'm like, man, my buddy who I look up to, like I look up to this guy, right? I look up to you because you hit it big with other, mainly hacks. Maybe you're in a couple other stuff before that. But like I look up to people like that because they have bigger bags than me, bigger portfolios. And they did it. Some of them did it. And I was like, you start second guessing yourself in your decisions. You do. And it takes some serious conviction, man.
Yep, absolutely.
This is the 7th time this simulation's been ran. I love that. Richard is getting exponentially good at it. Man, is he freaking hitting the nail on the head. The guy
he's wild.
He's just a dude. Yeah, dude, it was unbelievable. I think that was it. He saw that. It was timed up with a couple other things in crypto that, made sense. And he's like, this is a good time to pull the string.
Yeah. I like this comment. Richard, yeah. Does Richard have a spreadsheet and he knows who all the whales and sharks and dolphins are? I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I'm on the spreadsheet. Can I make it? Can I be on the?
You made the spreadsheet?
I'm on the spreadsheet. Let's go. I'm on the spreadsheet. I want to be on the spreadsheet, man. Like, watch my wallets, please. Like, I watch my wallets. Like, you're never going to see me sell my RH tokens for token B. Token A. When I sell my RH tokens, it's because I'm buying real estate. Like that would be like I'm exiting out of the marketplace in 2025. I'm buying some real estate. I'm buying, that's not for new money. Yes, I'll buy other stuff with new money. I'll do that. It's my lottery play. I have a small little allocation in my portfolio for my lottery plays. And it also helps me not feel the FOMO of all this other stuff going on. Is that my little lottery position, and some of those will pop off and make money, and I'll bring them back into RH.
Sure. Yeah, here's the list: Zen, Titan X, Rex, Wise. Yeah, all these. The list goes on. Lots of leeches and clones, if you will. And once again, everybody makes their own financial decisions. We hope it works out for everybody, whatever you choose. We know where our bags are packed.
Didn't Wise guys? Some of you OGs in the chat. Didn't Wise with liquidity lock millions of dollars for like 100 years or something crazy like that? They locked the liquidity in. There was something. There's a crazy story like that because we weren't around for Wise,
right?
We weren't around for that. But I remember like that. Oh, there's Johnny. He said, "Yep, yeah, they locked in millions of dollars." To prove to the community that they're legitimate, right? That they're ethical, they're going to lock their liquidity. That come over here, we have a better system. It's always we're better. Like, here's the thing, man. You can't fork the community. It is you guys why I'm here. Well, Richard is. Richard brought me. So Richard drew me in. You guys kept me. That's it. You guys kept me. Richard drew me in. You guys kept me.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Wise had super thick liquidity. Price couldn't move up.
Interesting. Oh, well, there's the other problem. Yeah, okay. So they locked all that liquidity, and then you can't even push the price up. Now the price chart looks like this. It's just like it's like a Zen price chart.
It is.
It's a Zen price chart. Yeah, it's down forever.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, so seriously, like we got all OGs here. Appreciate you guys. Seriously, those of you guys that paved the way. Credit where credit is due. We appreciate each of you. We got a bunch of newer people here as well. There's a place for everyone in the community. Once again, it's time for open arms, clear hearts, and we want to make sure that we get everybody.
Be the better man. When people are coming back in, don't bash them. They want to come back in and buy your bag. Well, think of it that way. They're wanting to come in and buy your bag. Just salute them and thank them their services. right? And salute them on. Hope they get a 20x. Hope they get a 50x. Hope they get a 100x. Let's go. You know, let's have that mindset moving forward. And I think we will embody a different type of ethos in the community. And it's not, most of you guys are good. Like 90, I feel like 95% is great. It's just that little small subset, the thousandaires are like this. Yeah, come on.
Yep. There's a call to action to everybody. If you're not opening your mouth right now, I promise the people in your circle need to hear from you. They need to hear from you loud right now so they can still capture some of the gains before they FOMO in and buy at the wrong time. So be that person. And we need you in the community too. We need more positivity. We need more insights. You bring value. I know there's so much of the silent majority sitting on the sidelines that has value. If you just open your mouth, say that stuff. Like, we want to freaking hear it. Once again, we appreciate everybody that's here.
We do appreciate you guys. So
Yep.
any announcements before we hop off? I need to follow up back up. Crypto Coffee is going to be coming on. I would love to have, I know Johnny, you're in the chat. I would love to have you back on sometime, man. Talk to you again. I always love talking to you. I always love watching your content. That would be great. And we have also, who was it that's going to be coming on? Oh yeah, Fast Abdul. I need to get with you. I saw that you sent me a message, man. I'm sorry. I've been slammed like with onboarding. Like me and Dana
we're back to back all day.
We're back to back. So I need to get you on. I want to talk about 2 fucks, being that I love fucks. I love that they're building on top of fucks. And now it's 2 fucks. And let's go. Like, let's bring all this fun stuff and let's talk bribes. Yeah. Like, we want to do that stuff. We love the builders. We love you guys. You builders, I'll tell you what, the builders is what dragged this community through the mud when we were at its darkest days. When we were dark, man, it was the builders that kept the faith, kept me going. The community, the builders is what kept me going, kept the faith. And so we appreciate you guys. We salute you guys too, the builders in the ecosystem. We need you guys to keep building. Let's make this chain bad effing ass. Let's give Ethereum a run for its money this market cycle. That would be amazing.
Oh, man. Amazing. Cool, guys. Appreciate you once again. We're here to pump your bag. Smash the like, subscribe, all that stuff on the way out.
This was a Moritz project. Come on, dude. That can't be real. Moritz cannot have been.
Yeah, is that real?
No, come on, guys. If that guy is that kind of indicator.
Opera gets better.
No. No, the Moritz indicator.
He's still around?
Dude, he's in the.
I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know he's around, but like after that, oof. Oh, okay. He invested.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, well, Peter. Okay.
I'm glad you guys. I'm glad we have him around to watch and get a feel for.
The more it's indicator.
It's so stupid.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right, guys. Appreciate you.
All right.
I'll catch us tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.